Well, Joe Budden went up to Hot 97 today, and he basically ended up walking out of the interview. He went up there, he spoke about the Drake beef, and he kind of said he was over it, and he had a finishing move, and he wasn't able to display it, and he wouldn't reveal what that finishing move was. But let's be honest, he didn't get over the beef. Drake got over the beef. The beef moved in a different direction. It kind of got brought into a Hot 97 Funkmaster Flex thing, and that was the new Drake beef of the moment. People forgot about the Joe Budden beef. So it's interesting how quick people can get over something. Something's hot for a week or two, and then it's over. This is the time we live in. Things are hot for a week. I mean, remember Damn Daniel? That was good 3 months ago. It seems like 3 years ago at this point. But anyways, he went up there. Then he spoke about his album for really quickly. But it was almost like this interview was like a setup or a sabotage. Because if you don't know, Joe Budden has a podcast called I'll Name That Podcast Later. And he used to have a co-host named Marisa Mendez. And she was there during the interview. And if you don't know, she got fired from his podcast. So she's up there. That's awkward, right? And I guess Joe Budden and Peter Rosenberg have a little tension, like a friendly tension. Like Peter Rosenberg feels like he's like used by Joe Budden or whatever. But anyways, at like 20 minutes into the interview, the whole interview shifts from like the Drake beef and his album, which he's up there to promote, called Rage in the Machine. And they kind of like just out of nowhere start talking about how he fired Marisa Mendez with her there and how it wasn't right. And, you know, they kind of like sideswiped him with this, you know, they caught him off guard, and his whole attitude was like, I don't want to talk about this. And then she was like, you know, that was wrong how you fired me, because you just fired me through a text. You didn't even call me and let me explain something. I didn't do anything wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then Ebro, Peter Rosenberg, and her all gang up on Joe Budden. And Joe Budden takes the stance like, hey, you guys are getting all emotional and personal about this when I feel like I did what I had to do. It's business. It's not personal. You didn't listen to those EPMD albums? So he takes the defense, and he's like, yo, I don't want to talk about this. He's like, I fired her. That's how I felt. And then they're like, well, why didn't you address it? And he's like, I didn't want to hurt her feelings. But that's cold, man. If you have a friendship with somebody, you don't fire them through a text message. You explain. I mean, you can't even do that in the workplace. I mean, you get sued. You know, you got to do things a certain way, you know. So basically, Ebro brought up a good point. Like, hey, this girl, because she said, I helped you start your podcast. And Joe Budden was like, help? I don't understand that. Like, no. I love it when these people get on and they become successful at what they're doing. They forget everybody that helped them get to a certain point. I mean, you can't name one rapper that's like, gives it up to somebody like, oh, I wouldn't be here without this person. At one point, they do that in the beginning, and then at one point it's all about, I'm self-made. No, nobody's self-made. Everybody needs somebody to get to the next level. So the way he kind of treated her in the whole situation was kind of disgusting, and he ended up at one point just getting up and leaving the interview. He did it politely, but he still ended the interview, said, next time, send my manager the talking points, got up, said the name of his album, and got up. Now, was this a publicity stunt to promote his album? Because it seems like Joe Budden is using these like little publicity stunts now. He turned the whole Drake beef into a big drama thing with like 4 diss songs. I don't know what's going on here. It seems like it might be a publicity stunt to promote his album. But there was a lot of tension there for like 20 minutes where they were talking about like how he handles people and lets people down. And it was like Ebro and them, they've been like, this is the second thing I've seen Ebro do in a month that was a little weird. Like, you see the Drake thing where he made up Eminem was going to diss Drake and trolled the internet for a day and then had to recant it and say it was a joke. And then now this kind of sabotaging Joe Budden by bringing up an ex-employee that he fired and kind of addressing it on the air. Is this the direction Hot 97 is going? You know, and then Joe Budden, I didn't even know that, so that's kind of like disgusting how he handled that. But hey, I like the podcast. So hey, we'll just have to see how this. Maybe Joe will give some more. Who really cares? Honestly, I'm just reporting on this, anyways. But anyways, tune in. Check the interview below.